The only problem that he is facing, why you're seeing the suicides and other things is, one thing is, there is no power of scale over generations, because we have history of thousands of years of agricultural history. Over generations, it's become smaller and smaller and smaller. Today, the average land holding in the country is 1 hectare, that is 2.25 acres. In 2.25 acres, or for every 2.25 acres, there's a barbed fence, there is a borewell, there's an electric connection, there are pipelines. It's a complete waste of resources. For the amount of money that goes into it, there is no way he can get to make it lucrative or profitable for himself. So this is what is leading to this. So right now this FPO movement, we have one of the best run FPOs in Tamil Nadu is run by us here in this region. It's an organization of about 1,200 farmers. Now we are seeing how to scale this to 50,000 farmers. Right now on the ground, nothing much has happened. All we have done is to show them it works. All we have done is, there are 3-4 youth always on the phone negotiating these products. Just with negotiation, their income has gone up 300%. Just with simple negotiation and timing the sale of the produce, this is all. And another thing is the inputs. We have set up a superstore where all the inputs, whatever the dealer margin was about 25 to 30%, that is going straight to the farmer. That 30% itself is a big thing for him. So, we are looking at, if you put 50,000 farmers together, it becomes a major corporation run by them. You can hire professionals, you can hire scientists to, agricultural scientists to see what crops to grow, how to grow and everything. We can hire, marketing experts to do this, or we can consult, we can handle this internationally. All this we are looking at because from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, the latitudinal spread that we have in this country, the types of soils and weather conditions that we have in this country, 12 months of the year, you can just grow almost anything that grows anywhere in this world. And if we handle this capacity, this latitudinal spread, and 65% still being capable of doing farming, if we handle this right, then we can become the breadbasket of the world. But right now, we have laws like this, that, this compulsory school education is killing the farming totally. Every child goes to school, by the time he comes to till 10th standard, he need not pass, he just keeps going. Without learning 2+2, millions of them have reached 9th, 10th standard. Only in 10th standard he gets filtered. By then, he is physically not competent to work in the farm, mentally completely in a different way. He thinks he's educated just because he's gone to school. So, we are completely destroying the future of farming in this country. It is time educated people invest and invest their children in the farming, because it can be done in a very good way, there is enough science and technology. What is lacking is scale. Scale can be achieved by bringing them together as a farmer-producer organization. There were many tax and other things which we got relaxed now. See, for example, if you are a farmer, how much ever you earn, there's no tax for you. But if 10 of us farmers got together and made an FPO, then there is 30% income tax. So why will we come together? You're ensuring we don't come together. So I appealed to the Prime Minister and he relaxed up to 100 crores earning, there is no tax. But now I'm pushing why 100 crore limit? If farming has to survive in this country, you cannot give teachings, you cannot run agricultural institutions. All you have to do is make it lucrative. If it's lucrative, it will survive. It is so poor. Why did it become poor? You can keep the soil rich only by putting organic content into it. See, soil is full of life. If you… I don't know if you've been in a rainforest or, in southern India itself, in Western Ghats, if you go inside the forest, just pick it up like this, you will see it's bursting with life, the soil. That's how it should be. But right now it is plowed and left open for 8-9 months. It's really dead. First 9-10 inches, 12 inches where the crop goes is completely dead. Whenever you fly from Chennai to Delhi, now you're in the Delhi team, I heard, so you have to fly Chennai to Delhi, every 5 minutes look out of the window. you will see India looks like a brown desert. Except a few green patches here and there, most of it is a brown desert because these are all agricultural lands. When there is no crop, they're just plowed and left open to kill the soil. So this kind of practices we have come to because we saw Europeans doing massive, industry like farming. But now they've all changed, but we didn't change. We are still doing the same thing. It is very important. See, suppose you grow 1 ton of, let's say, sugarcane or paddy or whatever from the soil, what you have taken out is 1 ton of topsoil, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to put it back. How can you put it back? The only way is leaves from the trees or animal waste. Trees are gone long time ago. In Kaveri Basin, 87% of the tree cover has been removed in the last 70 years. And animals are all traveling abroad. There are no animals on the farm. People think tractor will do it, tractor will plow it, but tractor will not enrich the soil as animals would. Animals would work also and enrich the soil also. But now they're all gone, people thought they're useless. And we are thinking just by putting salts, everything will be okay. For all those people who don't understand what I'm saying, in our meal, in southern Indian meal, without salt we are not eating any food. Little bit of salt and so many other things. Instead of that, make it 90% salt and 10% whatever else you want to eat. One meal if you eat like that, you will understand what you are doing to this soil and to this country.